What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. For today, we are going to be talking about Justin Bieber and all of the new information and stories that he's been in, because I have a feeling that there's a lot more under the surface with Justin Bieber. Now, I know you guys are going to ask yourself, who pays attention to who is following who on social media? Well, some people do. Some people keep very close track of this information. If you've seen in the headlines, Justin Bieber went on this unfollowing rampage on his Instagram where he unfollowed his former manager, a lot of the other people that he used to work with since he was practically a young star. If you guys can remember, Justin Bieber got signed when he was 13 years old. He was discovered off of YouTube because he was participating in a singing competition and he wanted to share those songs with his family members that weren't with him physically in the same area.
You are one of a kind and you mean to me what I mean to you. Let's take together, baby. There is nothing.
He posted them on YouTube, and then lo and behold, that's when like Usher, Bruan, all those people got involved in Justin Bieber's life at that time.
Would assume that he was signed with the older Caucasian boy, Justin Timberlake. I heard there was a bidding war. What made him go with you?
You know, to be able to help, articulate his vision based off of my experience, I think that has something to do with him choosing, or them choosing to go with me.
And at this time is when he met Bruan, who became his manager for practically like the next decade of his life. Now, I believe that a lot of things have changed for Justin Bieber as of recent because of his son that was born in August 2024, Jack Blues Bieber. I think that this has given him the perspective of, here is this young child that is his own, and just having that fatherly instinct of wanting to protect this young, innocent soul, and realizing that in his career, when he was just a very young teenager, he was taken advantage of not only by executives, but by his own team and also by other celebrities. So we're gonna get into the different people that he's unfollowed, his association with the P. Diddy scandal / lawsuit, and what I believe is an ongoing smear campaign against his wife, Hailey Bieber, that is meant to attack Justin. Now, Bruan is not necessarily known for maintaining his relationships, especially in the entertainment industry. Although he is an artist manager, he is now the CEO of the Hybe label US division. But we saw in the news Bruan cutting ties with other celebrities like Ariana Grande, with Demi Lovato. Those celebrities actually dropped him, and it's not necessarily known exactly the reason why, but Bruan was also a part of that famous case with Taylor Swift trying to purchase her own masters and then him ultimately being the one to purchase them. And he's just kind of has this reputation for being this icky, slimy guy in the entertainment industry. However, throughout all of that, Justin Bieber has always maintained his alliance with Bruan up until very recently. So I'm gonna go down the list of the different people that Justin Bieber has unfollowed, including, as you guessed it, Bruan. He's also unfollowed his former bodyguard, Kenny Hamilton, that supposedly was a really close friend of his. Justin Bieber unfollowed and blocked Allison Kay, who was his general manager. He also unfollowed Ryan Good, which jokingly Justin Bieber said that this was his swag coach, when in reality it was his stylist. But because Ryan Good is this straight man, he was like, I don't want to be known as a stylist, so just call me a swag coach. And he was with Justin Bieber from the very early stages of his career, styling him. He went on tour with Justin Bieber, and he was also formerly an assistant to Usher.
To be Usher's assistant, and I was a terrible assistant. I was like the absolute worst. He even he's told stories about how I wrecked his cars.
Which is how I believe that they got in contact initially. Now, Ryan Good wasn't just some like random person that Justin Bieber worked with. He was also Justin Bieber's best man at his wedding. And what a lot of fans are speculating is that Ryan Good, because there is a bit of an age gap, I believe that he is maybe like 15 years older than Justin Bieber. A lot of fans online speculate that Ryan Good maybe used Justin Bieber to have access to some of his young female fan base. This is not verified in any source. No allegations have come out. But it seems as though Ryan Good was kind of someone that was constantly around Justin Bieber, not just in a professional setting, but like as a friend. And with such a big age gap, that's where fans drew some questions towards like what is the nature of this relationship. Now, what was in the news most recently was that Justin Bieber had unfollowed Usher, which we all know who Usher is. Usher played a major role in Justin Bieber's life in the early stages. He was the one that ultimately got to sign Justin Bieber. He was his mentor. He took care of him and played even like sometimes a role as like his guardian in the early stages of his career. Now we got a taste of this potential, I wouldn't even call it a feud, because it seems as though Justin Bieber is trying to clean house, but Usher is asked about Justin Bieber not performing with him during the Super Bowl performance, and Usher seemingly doesn't have a direct response towards this. He just says that Justin Bieber seems like he's writing a different story at this time.
Why didn't things work out with Justin Bieber?
You know what? They did work out with Justin. You know, I honored and recognized that my brother, you know, he you know, I think that it might have been the fact that he was just, you know, wanting to tell a different story right now, and I understand that.
Usher was Justin Bieber's mentor, and it's hard to imagine cutting ties with someone who played such an important role in your life, especially the one that got you this career and this life, unless there was something underneath the covers. And I very much think that there is a lot that Usher was responsible for. Maybe not directly, but just through neglect or allowing different people around Justin, knowing the kinds of people that they were, including people like P. Diddy, which we're gonna get into in just a second. What I find interesting too about Justin Bieber not performing with Usher at the Super Bowl halftime show is that it's not just like some random gig that Usher invited him to. This is like a major gig that I'm sure Justin still to this day would probably love to play at the Super Bowl. So him not being present for that does say a lot towards that relationship and what could potentially be motivating this situation. Like I said, I'm under the belief that because these people were a part of Justin Bieber during his very early stages of his career, that these people probably used Justin, saw him being exploited, saw him being taken advantage of, or they themselves might have played a role in that. All right, so now we're gonna talk about P. Diddy and his association with Justin Bieber. Everybody has seen the now popular video of P. Diddy with Justin Bieber, who was at that time just 15 years old, basically describing that he was babysitting Justin Bieber for that weekend and that they were going to do whatever is within a 15-year-old's imagination to do.
So check this out, yo. Justin, you ever seen the movie 48 Hours? Right now, he's having 48 hours with Diddy, him and his boy. They're having the times of their lives, you know, where we hanging out and what we doing. We can't really disclose, but it's definitely a 15-year-old's dream.
Obviously, because of all the information that has come out about P. Diddy, people have speculated that Justin Bieber was potentially being exploited, abused. And I think that that is just the video evidence that we have of that specific instance where P. Diddy got to babysit Justin for one weekend. But it doesn't necessarily speak to all the things that went completely unheard of, unknown. We've seen videos with Justin Bieber interacting with P. Diddy like years later, or maybe even just a year later, where he seemingly is uncomfortable around him. P. Diddy doesn't have his phone number, and he's like, hey, Justin, like, why haven't we been in contact?
You ain't been calling me and hanging out the way we used to hang out.
Well, I mean, you try to get in contact with me, you know, through all my, partners and whatnot. Mm-hmm. But you never really got my number, so.
Right, okay.
My number?
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you my number.
Yeah.
It's 555.
Yes.
And P. Diddy is like this grown-ass adult, and Justin Bieber is like this teenage boy. And you can visibly see the discomfort in Justin Bieber's face, and he begrudgingly gives him his phone number. We see that cycle kind of exists throughout the years. Like they interact once more. Justin doesn't look super comfortable around him. Now, there were some allegations that were made by the CEO of Death Row Records, which is Suge Knight. Suge Knight is currently serving 28 years behind bars due to a manslaughter charge, but he did talk about P. Diddy and Justin Bieber and the kinds of things that he experienced under P. Diddy. Suge Knight details some really disturbing and horrific things that P. Diddy had sexually assaulted Justin Bieber.
The saddest thing in the world is what they did to Justin Bieber.
What was that?
That's sad.
What'd they do to him? Because there's a lot of speculation out there, but nobody. I mean, I've heard things, but what did they really do to him
They had sex with him.
when he was a
And
kid?
I hate to say that. I hate to say that because I really like Justin Bieber. I feel bad for Justin Bieber. And this wouldn't have happened if Justin Bieber came from a wealthy family.
Justin Bieber would be sent off to like romantic vacations with adult celebrities / men.
I mean, you had grown men would take Justin Bieber. A grown man take Justin Bieber when he was young to a vacation, a romantic vacation, showing pictures on the Instagram with no women, nobody else but a grown, successful man and this little kid.
And Suge Knight references that this is actually a situation that Usher himself had been exposed to. And in interviews of Usher talking about when he was starting out his career and with P. Diddy, he doesn't necessarily seem to want to discuss it fully. He doesn't necessarily seem like he's super proud of it, but you know, he accepts those things that happen.
And I lived with Sean Puffy Combs for a year.
That's the crazy thing. Now, that was L.A. Reid's idea, right? We're sending you
New
over
York
to
City.
something called Puffy Flavor Camp.
There you go.
To learn some...
Flavor Camp?
Yeah,
Flavor
that's what it
Camp.
was called. And you're going to go to Puff Daddy's. He's going
In the 90s, do you understand what that's like?
Puffy's place was like just filled with chicks and orgying like nonstop, right?
No, not really. I
Come
mean,
on.
but hey, it was curious. I got a chance to see some things.
Yeah, but you were 13. What were you seeing?
I went there to see the lifestyle.
Right.
And I saw it. And it was but I don't know if I could indulge and understand what I was even looking at. It was pretty wild. It was,
So nobody
it was crazy.
tried to, you know, some woman didn't come along.
I ain't
and
say that.
And I think part of my feeling is that Usher probably normalized those activities and actions and maybe played a role in Justin Bieber also being exposed to those things because he thought, hey, when I was 14, 15 years old and I was first getting signed onto my record label, being a part of the industry, this is the stuff that I experienced. And so like now my protege, Justin, it's his turn to experience these things. And it's really horrific and disturbing hearing these allegations because to the general public, hindsight 2020, we see all the ways that Justin Bieber was sexualized as a very young child. And I say child because he was like 13, 14, 15 years old when people were making him out to be like this sex symbol. Now, I feel like some of these videos have already been out and about and people have seen them, but just to kind of remind you or paint the picture of how Justin Bieber was sexualized, there's a video with Justin at an awards show and Nicki Minaj is on the other side, and she is asking Justin, can you handle curves, alluding to her figure and her body. At this time, Justin Bieber is only 17 years old, but he responds like kind of jokingly back, like, yes, I can.
I'm all grown up now. You know, next year I'll be 18, so what's up?
Justin, do you drive?
Yes, I drive.
Can you handle curves?
Yes, I can.
And the thing is, by that age, I'm sure Justin had already experienced a plethora of things where he was immune to this. He didn't think it was uncomfortable at that point. There's another video with Justin and James Corden where he is telling him that he smells good and that he has beautiful eyes. And at that time, Justin Bieber was only 16 years old and he is visibly uncomfortable.
You smell amazing. How old are you?
Thank you.
How old are you?
I'm 16. I'll be 17 in like 2 weeks.
I don't ever remember smelling that good at 16. Like that was bad.
Yeah.
Wow, look at your eyes. What music are you listening to at the moment, Justin?
Well, I listen to a lot of different stuff. I'm really into Jessie J, actually.
Ah, well, she's here. We're going to get to see her later. Thank you so much. Look at him. Look at what a beautiful face. All right.
Again, these are all public displays of this. They're at award shows, they're televised. People felt comfortable doing this to Justin, even in this kind of setting. So there is no imagining what probably was going on behind doors. There's also an interview on the talk show, The Talk, where Justin Bieber goes on there and Leah Remini asks him if he would rather be naked on stage or do some other thing that, to me, doesn't even matter what the other thing is. But Justin Bieber, even at his age, when he is 17 years old, he says, I don't think that would be appropriate. I have young fans that would not want to even like see that, hear that shouldn't be exposed to that. Like,
would you rather have to be naked on stage during one full song, or drink a cup of blended worms? Answer, Justin Bieber.
I have like little girl fans. I can't go.
Okay, imagine that.
Even him at his current age is more sophisticated and advanced than a woman who was in her 30s to be asking that kind of question to him. It's honestly really disturbing, but it does paint you a picture of what Hollywood could look like for a young celebrity. Justin Bieber talks about Billie Eilish and having this need to protect her because of the things that he had experienced, and he's very emotional discussing this.
Who am I?
It was hard for me being that young and being in the industry and not knowing where to turn, and everyone, telling me they love me and, just turn their back on you in a second. So if she ever needs me, I'm gonna be here for her. But yeah, just protecting those moments because people take for granted encounters, and I just want to protect her.
He's so sweet and like.
And I think that there's so much under the surface for him that he probably has yet to work through that I don't even know if in a lifetime he can probably work through all the things that he's experienced. So now I want to talk about Justin and Hailey Bieber. And the reason I wanted to talk about this was because I saw some fan speculation on Reddit, on social media, that people somewhat believe that Hailey Bieber is part of a smear campaign that is being managed by Scooter Braun because of the fallout of that relationship. Now, I didn't give it too much thought, but then I was thinking about the Blake Lively lawsuit, where Justin Baldoni sends this tweet to his PR agency that is discussing an X thread. And the X thread outlined different examples of when Hailey Bieber was being a mean girl or when she was attacking other women. Now, I believe that Justin and the PR team did not necessarily use bots or didn't plant stories, but what I do believe that is under that campaign is that there is verifiable proof that there was a second team that was being utilized to help manage like some of the social medias. And the PR team discusses that no sophisticated PR campaign would utilize bots. So that leads me to think that if there is a social media aspect to the campaign, but it's not bots, then I think that it's either in the form of influencing stories, or I believe that it is these individuals that are part of that second team that are planting real stories. Like, they're not just planting rumors, they're bringing up real evidence of things that happened to help sway the public. So I'm of the belief at this point that Justin Baldoni and his PR team know about this Hailey Bieber smear campaign. Maybe it's just something that's known within the industry among other people in the PR industry. And he was referencing this as like, hey, this is what we need. And this is what made me think that there is maybe some truth to these fans on Reddit, on social media discussing, saying, hey, I think this is Scooter Braun's doing, or someone that is on the team opposing Justin. Now, Justin and Hailey Bieber got married in 2018 and are now close to celebrating their 6th year anniversary. And like I said in the beginning of the video, they welcomed their first child last year in August of 2024, which was Jack Blues Bieber. Everything that this couple has put out, especially Hailey Bieber, has been like, no, hey, we are good. She has her bag. It says Mrs. Bieber. They're going on vacation together as of recently. Like, they're always pictured together. He is always describing Hailey as like this wonderful, beautiful woman, this woman that like changed his life, and him wanting to do right by her because he loves her and wants to protect her. But for some reason, the internet believes that these two are going to break up. There's even this article that describes that Justin Bieber has unfollowed Hailey's father. And what I think is so misleading about this is that Hailey Bieber also unfollowed her own father. It wasn't like he had just done it and is cutting ties with her family. And if you guys can remember all the Hailey versus Selena comparisons that were absolutely ridiculous. Like, Hailey Bieber wore purple and all of a sudden she's copying Selena Gomez. Hailey Bieber wears this one handbag that Selena Gomez wore one time in like August of 2019, and now she's copying Selena Gomez again. And it was absolutely ridiculous. Like, you would have to be demented to believe that Hailey Bieber's over here studying Selena Gomez's exact playbook and going by it. I won't deny and say that maybe she was influenced by some things, but for her to be over here sitting and paying attention to what someone else is doing, that seems like such a far-fetched thing to do, especially to the level of detail that people were suggesting that she was doing it in. There's also been recent stories about Hailey Bieber blowing through Justin's money, and like a source close to them is discussing this with the news, and it seems like it's just like an odd story to bring out. I remember too when Hailey Bieber made this post about like God's timing is always right, and I think it was the same time that like something happened to Selena Gomez. I'm not even sure the exact thing, but I remember even at that time being like, what is this? Like God's timing is always right. Like that's just a video about anything. Hailey Bieber probably makes a certain amount of her income from social media, so for her to be posting constantly on an everyday basis is probably important to her business and her brand. And honestly, with all those stories, it just makes you question what could be going on here. Now, I think what I want to just conclude with is that I feel like Justin Bieber is, like I said, trying to clear house of all the people that have wronged him in his life. He has unfollowed some very important people to him in his earlier years. And I think everything that's coming out with P. Diddy and also the birth of his son is probably enlightening him to think that there should have been different protections in place for him. I also am not fully sure about Justin Bieber's family situation, but it seems odd to me too, like, I get it, his mom was a single mom, his dad was not like super present, but the fact that he was really just like left to Hollywood's devices, I could only hope and wish that all these moves that are being done by him at this point are in his best interest and that he's gonna come out of this and he's gonna be fine. Obviously financially that they're gonna be fine, but mentally, spiritually, all these things that I feel like they are probably fighting socially within the Hollywood sphere, I really hope that they're going to come out of this on the other side. And if they're ever open to talking about the things that he experienced in his youth, I think a lot of people would be very open to listening to those things and holding people accountable that should be held accountable. With that being said, I want to thank you guys so much for watching this video. What do you guys think about all these changes in Justin Bieber's life? Do you feel like they are related to something? Do you guys think that there is an ongoing campaign against Hailey Bieber? Let me know what you guys are thinking. I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye everyone.